Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this edition on the Shelbyville Now platform, Bedford County Sports Talk Live with me, Bill Anderson, and Mr. Kenny Parker. Guys, another week's gone by.
Hey, we got a special
Yeah,
guest.
and a special guest here. I don't know what's
Frosty.
up with the snowman. I don't
Is
know,
that Frosty?
but I guess we're in the Christmas spirit. It's coming to us, and some of this high school football, basketball is going to start tapering off a little bit for a little bit of a break, and then a lot of them will be in tournaments and so forth between Christmas and New Year's. But we had some games this week. Bill, what do you got as far as scores go?
The Shelbyville girls, they're rolling 48-27. They beat Centennial. We don't have the boys' score, but Centennial won by 25 or 30. They didn't have any problem with Shelbyville there. But the Eaglettes are on a real run right here.
Playing good ball.
Playing good basketball right now.
Well, they 7-2, 8-2.
I think they're 7-2. And the boys are getting better. The Centennial's a bigger school.
Yeah.
But they're getting better. And Moore County and Cascade. Anytime Cascade can beat Moore County in anything, it's good. Girls didn't have much luck last night.
Girls played well to start with. At one point, they were tied right about the end of the first quarter. But Moore County started putting a little more defense. Moore County girls are pretty good.
56-17.
They're young. I think they're a junior-based team. They're
now
young.
the Cascade boys are coming on. Slow start. They had a big win last night, 69-41.
They are early. Kids didn't know who was going to score, whatever. They all shot the ball well last night. They all
Good
shot
win.
the ball
I
well.
think that's something that we can take and just put it across the board and make this statement that anytime you lose a lot of players from the year before and you're coming back with a new crew,
you got to find your identities.
Yeah, and you don't know who's going to do what out there on that floor.
That's right.
You can look at practices all you want to, but when the lights come on, the crowd gets there, and it's game time, some of these kids change.
Exactly.
And you don't know what it's going to be, so they're all trying to get figured out. I'd say community boys are, Cheval boys are, and Cascade boys are, because they're all basically coming back with something new coach, new players. So they're all having to adapt to that. So
I agree.
Macon County Community last night, the community girls lost 51-38. But Robbie Davis starting to win some games out there with the boys with a big close win last night, 51-49 over
that's their
County.
third win now,
Yeah.
I believe.
They started off slow, but they're coming on now.
Good.
Webb girls played Pearl Cone last night. Pearl Cone beat them 65-62, and the boys didn't play.
Webb lost. We talked about earlier, and I found this out last night, that they had a freshman that was the most valuable player in the tournament when they won the state. Then she goes to a sophomore, and she's the most valuable player in the tournament in the state. She's not there this year.
Where'd she go?
Bradley Central.
So
Bradley Central won the state last year.
Yeah, they're going to be tough.
And they were bringing them all back, and she's down there with them. So they lost a lot of their players,
right?
Her included.
I still say they'll be in the thick of it, and they're
on.
They're having to
go
out
6-8 teams right there.
Well, and the coach before he left had them bumped up. And we talked about that. They're playing different. They're playing bigger than the boys. And when you go to watch Webb, you don't get to see a boys and a girls game. You get to see the boys or the girls.
Yeah, that's right. Well, high school basketball will continue up till next weekend, and then they're going to get that little break, and then they'll come back. All the teams will be playing in some sort of special game or tournament.
I know schedule and buses. I hadn't heard anything from Central and Community yet, but I know Cascade, they're heading up toward Knoxville.
Central's going to Lebanon, or the boys are. They're going to Lebanon for a tournament.
So they're not going far, but I know the Cascade's going, and I'm not sure. I know Community will go somewhere. They always do, but I'm not sure where that is this year yet.
Yeah. Well, also, we've got the wrestling teams kicking into gear. We got the big thing coming up Monday.
Bedford County Brawl tomorrow night at Central High School.
Is it tomorrow night or Monday night?
Monday night, the
yes.
18th, 6 o'clock, I believe, was the start time.
At Central, so all three
local high schools.
Oh, that'll be fun.
I know Central's doing well. Cascade's doing well. I don't know about Community.
They're a young
okay.
program. They're
getting started. That's good. That'd be good for them to go up against, and it's good to see our county kids in there together competing against one another.
And we're going to have two that probably going to be state finalists again this year.
Right.
McBee and Chopper.
McBee and Chopper.
They'll be we'll be following them throughout the year. And guys, it's time for our Pick'em Sports college football bowl contest, which we got embarrassed last year.
We did.
Dr. G.
Put it on us.
But we're going to do this again. So I've got the sheets for everybody. There's a bunch of games. Our first one start. There's like
We got
five.
five
I didn't
games.
realize
No.
that today.
We got
We got
1,
five.
2, 3,
UCLA
4,
plays
5,
tonight.
6,
Gary will
7,
be on.
8,
Hey,
7.
Gary will be
Seven.
on TV tonight.
Yeah, UCLA.
Gary, yeah.
Big Gary.
Mhm.
But before we get into some college football and talk a little bit more about the playoffs and so forth, I want to thank our sponsors, First Bank of Shelbyville. We want to thank them for being a longtime sponsor here on Shelbyville and Bedford County Sports. Also, Corner Cleaners down on North Main Street. If you need any cleaning or dry cleaning or pressing or whatever it is,
Tuxedo?
they can do it. Rent a tux, they can do that. Also, Kincaid,
Service company.
where service is their middle name, on Madison Street here in Shelbyville. And if you got any last minute shopping for the husband or wife, like a recliner or some sort of appliance,
Sony television.
televisions, you name it, they got it up there. Go see the Kincaids. They will fix you up. And then they will stand behind it for
I
years
agree.
to come.
That's one of my favorite gifts has always been at Christmas to my wife is getting her a kitchen appliance. She loves it.
A kitchen appliance.
Yeah.
So she
I
can
got
cook
mine
your
one
food.
time and I got whipped with it.
I'm telling you, me too, buddy. You talk about making them mad. Give them a kitchen appliance.
Yeah, I
For
got
Christmas. They
whipped
don't like
with
that.
it. Uh-huh.
And a shout out to our number one fan, Miss Helen Raby. We see you.
Absolutely,
Hey, Helen.
Miss Helen.
Good to hear from you again.
Yeah, good to see you in there. But guys, let's go back now and talk about a lot of these bowls. There's 7 bowls today, and it seems like every night, every day from now till
Wow, I didn't know
January
it- I
What's
didn't know it
the
get
wrong
started
with
today.
that now?
Huh?
What's wrong with
You
that?
got-
Can't see them all.
You got 3 NFL games today too,
Yes,
That's right.
plus college
Plus
football
college
today. What a day!
it's gonna be a fun time, and we're gonna make our picks.
You know what we need to do
And,
today? Need to go buy new TV remote batteries.
Yeah,
Right,
So we're
yeah.
flipping back
Right.
and forth.
New TV remote batteries. All right.
Don't want mine to go dead.
No,
Let's talk about. Yeah, I know you're gonna make your picks, guys, probably this afternoon on
No,
this. But
mine's
we
already
got
made.
to.
I just ain't got them
yeah.
circled.
We got to do this before 11 o'clock today
Sure.
because we've
Yep.
got
Those-
our first game.
Those games are already
Well,
circled.
let's just talk. Georgia Southern versus Ohio in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. I didn't know Myrtle Beach had a bowl, but
Hey, that could be, that weather coming up. That could be something
Yeah.
with that.
all right. So Georgia Southern versus Ohio. I'm going to take Georgia Southern because I got cousins that live down there.
that
and
Georgia
went to that
Southern's
school.
got a good
I'm just
program.
pulling.
Always have.
I like Georgia Southern, and the reason goes back to Ert Russell. Or they play ball.
They do play
They
ball.
play
Always
ball.
have.
And then there's some other games, but that 11 a.m. we got that pick out there. I'm taking Georgia Southern too.
I'm Georgia Southern.
All right.
I'll tell you another team on here is playing today. Jacksonville State's no joke. I went up there and watched them
Mhm.
really beat Middle
Yeah.
hard,
Yeah.
and they're playing Louisiana today. And I think Jacksonville State's really good.
Yeah. I'm picking them too.
I am
And
also.
New Mexico State's playing.
And that's interesting. They've not been good in years,
I know it.
and they've won I think 10 ball games this
They
year.
can play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick them in
I'm
this one
picking
too.
them also.
But we'll go down through this list next week and see how we fared.
Okay.
Because
No
there's a lot of
problem.
games that we're gonna have up until next
Hey,
Boise
season.
State and UCLA's
Same
today.
idea. We got
Yeah,
Gary.
I'm pulling for UCLA.
I'm going to take Boise State.
That's the Gary Bowl for us.
Yeah, Kyle Brown comes in and says that's a 10 a.m. start our time. That is correct. We've all made our pick and went out on that limb for Georgia Southern. So, but guys, I want us to jump ahead to the playoffs, and I know you'll be making your choices here in a little while on who you're picking. But let's do it publicly right now if you're ready
Sure,
to do that.
I have no problem.
Michigan, Alabama. That's going to be on the Rose Bowl New Year's Day. And then the All-State Sugar Bowl, Washington versus Texas. That's on January 1st. Then they'll play on the 8th for the championship. Give me your picks, Bill.
Well, I'll just go ahead.
Yeah, I
and
know
tell
what
you.
Kitty's taking. I
I'm
know.
just gonna, I'm just going to
Here
go
comes the
ahead and
homer.
tell you. I think the championship game will be a rematch of a previous game this year that everybody's talked about all year long.
Texas, Alabama.
I think it'll be a rematch of a game that everybody's talked about all year long.
All right.
I'm gonna
so
be different. I'm taking Michigan to beat Alabama, and
That's
I
right.
like Texas to beat Washington, and
that's
then
what-
Texas to beat Michigan.
That's what I'm looking at, Bill. I've got that picked exactly the same way. And the reason I'm picking Michigan's only a 1.5 favorite, but that offensive line, that running back, oh man,
They got
they're
an
just
offensive
awful
lineman
good.
missing.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Well, they just reload.
That's the thing about a lot of the playoffs, not so much, but a lot of these bowl games. There's a lot of kids missing due to
Yeah, they are.
NIL portal. You go into the portal, you can't play in the bowl game. It's going to affect these games.
Missouri is letting their portal players decide whether they want to play or not.
A lot of schools aren't.
And then after that,
or you want to go pro. So you're not playing in the bowl game because you think you can get drafted
right.
and risk of
That's
injury.
right.
I mean, it's changed these bowl
it's
games.
changed.
Yeah, it has.
Quite a bit
It's
over
going to
the
be
years.
interesting to see, but we're going to make our picks, have those, and we will go through where we are next week. Which we'll have the 21st and 22nd. There's games. And then the 23rd, which will be next Saturday, they're going to start. So we'll have about 10 games here that we will have see where we are and how the standings are.
And we need to let our viewers know that we will be back next Saturday.
Right.
But then
The following week, we will not.
following couple of weeks, we probably won't be back.
Well, I'm thinking the first weekend on Saturday in January, whatever that is, January the 6th.
January 6th.
January 6th. We'll be back then.
Yeah,
Okay,
your
January
basketball will be back, and everybody will be back playing.
Yeah.
So next week we will be here. Then the week after we'll be off, right after Christmas, between Christmas, New Year's, and then we'll be back
January 6th.
January 6th, and that will be right before the national championship game, which is on that Monday
I want to
night.
mention one other thing real quick. Tonight, Tennessee basketball men's goes to NC State at 9:00. I've never seen a schedule that Rick Barnes has played here. He has played so many top 10 teams. They're 7-3, but this schedule, again, it's a top 20 matchup again with NC
You
State.
have to.
He is playing a heck of a
You
schedule.
have to.
Well,
and I think it'll pay off for him come SEC time.
yeah, when SEC time comes, they're going to be toughened.
Because I think Tennessee now, instead of going through those droughts where they can't score, all of a sudden they can. This bunch he's brought in some guys that can shoot.
Oh yeah,
they can score.
They can.
And they can make a run this year.
Guys, I know we let football overshadow basketball, but Tennessee's got a great team. There's a lot of good college basketball going on right now that we still are focused on football with the bowls and all, but we're going to pick that up here as these bowls start ending. We're going to jump into that pretty hard and get a good following on it. I don't know how many.
Y'all have to carry me sort of like that old boy on that old Trapper commercial where he's lost his protein. Y'all going to have to pull me around.
Right.
Well,
I tell you, that's got a good ball club to Auburn this year. I watched them play Indiana, and they were impressive.
Honestly, the SEC used to be a weak conference in basketball, but man, I'm telling you, they've got 5, 6, 7 teams every year. It's got a lot better.
And you always got to watch Kentucky because Calipari brings in the players.
Yeah, for sure. So that's going to be fun to watch as well. All right. Again, I want to thank our sponsors, First Bank here of Shelbyville on Madison Street. Go by, check out Brent Kennedy and the gang for all of your banking needs. Also, we have Kincaid
Service Company,
where service is their middle name, on Madison Street as well, and Corner Cleaners out on North Main Street. Go by and see Susie Johnson for all your cleaning needs, dry cleaning, drying, washing. I don't know that she does it all. She's got the whole process, and then those tuxedos if you need a tuxedo around. And I heard she was selling candles in there, like scented candles, and it's a big hit with the ladies. So if you need
scented candle,
if you need a last minute Christmas gift for your wife, guys, get out and go get her one of those candles from Susie.
Or go buy your wife a refrigerator or a stove at Kincaid Service Company, and they'll come deliver it and haul the old one off. It's a hit with ladies.
Probably put a bow on it too, won't
they? I bet Mark and Eve would do that for you.
Probably so. All right, guys, let's shift now and go into our NFL talk.
Titans talk. Before we go into our NFL talk, Bill and I have already talked about this.
Yep.
Last week, I come in feeling good. Packers had a big win over Kansas City. Now we got the Giants.
Cakewalk.
Well, not a cakewalk.
I thought it was going to be.
And then Tennessee comes in, and they didn't play well. And then they got the Dolphins. And, what'd you say last week?
Line couldn't be high enough.
I hope they don't put 50 on them.
70.
Yeah.
And boy, did I get my feet knocked out from under me, and you got raised up in the air. It just goes to show you how close the NFL is.
Right.
All these teams are neck
How
and neck.
close it is every week. And when you don't come with your A game, you go home with one in the right hand column.
Yep.
Yep, for sure. All right, we had Las Vegas and Los Angeles.
Charger coach got
Thursday.
fired.
Coach
I
got-
saw that
got
coming.
fired.
Yeah,
That was horrible.
Yeah,
But Las
that-
Vegas put 63 points
And
up
scored
on the
0
Chargers.
the week before against the Vikings. They lost 3-0.
It makes no sense, does it? It
Nope.
just doesn't make any sense. All right. Well, today we have three matchups.
Who
We've
wants that
got-
Chargers job, by the way?
Not me.
Well, there's a lot. There's a
Herbert.
lot of talent there,
Yeah.
but something with Herbert's not right. He plays great for three
yeah, but
quarters.
It's too early to talk about all
I
of
see
that.
Harbaugh there. There's
Harbaugh?
Chicago. If I'm the Chargers, that's who I go
especially
after.
when Alabama gets a hold of him, he'll be ready to go.
No, I think there's something wrong up there with the way the whole thing went. I do
I
not
think-
think he's back at Michigan, whether he wins the
I
national
agree.
championship
I
or not.
agree.
He's not. I don't think he'll be back.
All right. Let's talk about games today. We've got Minnesota at Cincinnati.
What about the Bengals and their backup quarterback?
He looks good, the Brownie
Yeah,
kid.
Hey, I'm telling you,
He looks
he
good.
looks good.
And they've got a little running back named Chase Brown that's came in,
Yeah.
and he looks good.
I'm
He
taking
may be better than Joe
Cincinnati.
Nixon.
At home, I'm taking Cincinnati against the
Yeah, the Vikings are starting Nick Mullen at quarterback.
I'm pulling for Cincinnati.
All right, Pittsburgh at Indianapolis.
Whoa.
What's Indianapolis going to do?
Well,
guys?
What's Pittsburgh doing?
Yeah, well, here's the game though. And everybody counts him. Tomlin's like Vrabel. The minute you count Mike Tomlin out,
You don't never
he comes
count,
up and hits you in the mouth.
You don't never count him out because I don't think he's ever had a losing season.
I don't think he has either.
And people talking about him might be on the hot seat.
I don't see that.
And they got some stuff boiling in there too. It's at
It's at Nick Colts.
It's at the Colts.
I
It's
think
at Indy.
Pittsburgh's going to
I'm
win.
going to go with Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Also.
I'm gonna take the Colts because Mitchell Trubisky. He just turns it over.
All right. The game of the day, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
Denver at Detroit.
Denver's playing much better. The Lions have kind of taken a step back,
I agree.
especially defensively.
It's going to be a battle.
I
right
think
here.
I like Denver to go in there and pull off the upset just based on the way they're playing right
Yeah.
now.
I
I
agree.
don't. I'll go with Detroit.
Well, that's going to be tonight at 7:15
Mm-hmm.
on NFL Network on all
All
three of
three
these.
games
So
on the
you've
NFL
got to
Network.
have the
Yeah.
NFL Network to get this.
Or I think you can get the NFL. What's that called? Where you go on NFL.com?
Yeah, you can do that.
NFL Plus.
NFL Pass.
Yeah.
Pass Plus,
yeah,
whatever it is,
yeah.
you can get it that way.
All right, tomorrow we've got Chicago at Cleveland in an early game. Chicago seems to be getting a little better, but I'm taking Cleveland on this.
I'll take
Man.
Chicago.
I like Cleveland.
All right, Tampa Bay at Green Bay.
Well, you know who I like.
Well,
I
of
just
course.
hope they play. They're getting they're having some more injuries. A lot of stuff happened in that last drive for them. Weeks got hurt. AJ Dobbs broke a thumb. So
Well, here's my question: is Aaron Parker around here today to give us a weather report? How's it going to be in Green Bay tomorrow?
it's not. I've looked at the weather.
Pretty
I don't
good,
think-
pretty
yeah.
decent.
Mhm.
Okay, not a big factor then. All right, I'm taking Green Bay on that one.
I'll take Green Bay too.
All right, Houston at Tennessee. Guys, Houston, the up and coming quarterback at home. I'm gonna take Tennessee on this.
This
Well, the
is-
quarterback's
this is-
out.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? I
Their
forgot
top
about
two
that.
receivers
Yeah,
are out.
yeah.
This is Houston on Houston today
Yeah,
tomorrow
I know
Yeah.
it.
because they throwing them throwback
Oh, they're
uniforms.
taking some flack for that. What do y'all think about them breaking out the
I
line?
like it.
Do you?
I love
I
it.
do. I like it. I've always liked that uniform. And you know what would really, I hope one of the banks got the Love You Blue towel.
Oh yeah, that would be
Hey,
nice.
would
Yeah,
that be
yeah,
something?
Yeah.
I
All
like it. I
Houston's
hope
awful beat up here. Stroud's out.
I'm going with the Titans.
Boy, it's hard to go with the Titans. I'm gonna go with them too.
It's at home though.
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
And I do think Will Levis is coming into his own right here. Maybe time for
I tell you what,
I think
Who
Levis
you
is coming
talking
on.
about?
He's coming
on.
here you go.
What's that guy's name again?
Will Levis.
Let's talk about the Monday night game just for a second. He cost us,
Yeah.
but he won the game for
He
us.
won the game for you.
He willed that team to win.
14 points in less than 2
But he
minutes.
cost us 2 touchdowns.
He did.
All right. If he can eliminate those mistakes and play like he's playing, as far as down the stretch, finishing a game,
And I think he's learned something else.
He's taking
Target
steps.
DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre
Yes.
Hopkins can get open. He gets away, if you'll notice, with offensive pass interference better than anybody I've ever seen. He'll make it look like it's your fault, and he did it. He's a master.
Oh, yeah, he is.
A master.
He'll catch anything near him. Let me ask you this.
You throw him open. He doesn't have to be open.
No,
you just throw it to him.
Yeah. All right, here's a question for you. Where's Traylon Burks? Had you rather have Kyle Phillips out there on the field?
I would.
I had to.
I think he's hurt.
Who?
Phillips.
No,
He took him.
He's been inactive the last 2 weeks just off coach's decision. And that's another problem with the Titans. Monty Rice has been cut.
Now, with Burks, if you go back and look at last week's game-winning touchdown when Derrick Henry scored, who's got the seal block on the outside?
Burks said it.
Burks has got the seal block on the out. There's more to playing wide receiver than catching the ball.
Oh, yeah, you got to block down the field. You got those little – I mean, you don't have to blow one of those big old guys out, but you just got to get in that way and seal them out.
But I'm sort of concerned that we've released Monty Rice. Basically, we released Christian Fulton, the starting corner, because we IR'd him and the kid didn't know we were putting him on IR. Now we cut Tierre Tart.
That's what I heard. Tierre Tart.
Cut him.
And what about Simmons? What's his status right now?
He's out this week.
Okay, so and you ain't got Tart.
Hopefully
so
he's
you
back
must
the
have
next
blocked
week.
the young kid that came in and played big.
Well, they said it was an attitude thing with Tart. I'm just thinking,
Really?
you ever get cross with Vrabel, you're gone.
Well, you got purple in the other, and we've already seen they're sort of in that rebuilding stuff. When they got rid of them, are they getting any draft picks, or are they saving cap money?
We could have gotten we're getting nothing, and we could have gotten a compensatory had Tart walked.
Right.
And maybe even if Monty Rice had just finished the season with them and don't re-sign them, you possibly could have gotten compensatory picks.
But you cut them.
You cut them, you get nothing.
But what did done to the locker room?
It's a good question.
Who knows? Don't know unless you're there. All right. New York at Miami. I'm going to say Miami bounces back after that loss to the Titans if Tyreek Hill's on the field.
I don't think it matters.
The Jets.
Miami's going to bounce back. Jets aren't very good.
Playing the Jets or the Giants?
Jets.
What you pick?
Dolphins.
I want the Dolphins to win. I don't want the Jets to win, even though I like Rodgers. But Green Bay gets their second-round pick, so the more they lose, the higher the pick will be.
Kansas City at New England. I'm taking Kansas City on this one. It's going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
New York and New Orleans. I'm going to take the Giants here.
I agree.
Giants look good the other night. They've been playing well.
New Orleans has got a lot of injuries.
Well, and the Giants, I think, are on a 3 or 4 game win streak with a bye thrown in there. They're playing good ball.
And then the Nothing Bowl, Atlanta at Carolina. I'm taking the Falcons.
Sure.
Yeah.
Washington, the Redskins.
Yeah, the Redskins. They'll always be the Redskins
at
to me.
Los Angeles.
Did you know that the Indian tribe that petitioned against them taking the name away and them going to the Commanders is now
they want it back.
They want it back.
Yeah. I it honors them.
I thought it did too.
Yeah.
But the name Redskin it's different than
you can't even have the Cleveland Indians anymore. You have to be the Guardians.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, we're going crazy.
I'm surprised they hadn't made the Atlanta Braves change theirs yet.
No, they don't like that. That's not happening.
No, it ain't gonna happen. All right, Washington at Los Angeles. I'm gonna take Washington.
The Rams.
I'm taking the Rams.
I'm taking the Rams.
All right, San Francisco at Arizona.
This game's at Arizona. Of course, San Francisco's probably the best team in pro football.
They've got 3 or 4 starters that's not going to play, but I'm still going to go.
But if I was taking it with the Todd Bobo line, I would take Arizona the points on this one. Line's about 13.5.
Yeah,
but I'll take San Francisco.
I agree.
Dallas at Buffalo. I'm taking Buffalo here.
That's the game of the week to me.
I'm taking Buffalo.
I'm taking Buffalo too. Since they made that offensive coordinator change, Buffalo is totally different on offense. All of a sudden, Allen looks like an MVP. And I'm telling y'all, Dak Prescott's due one of those Dak Prescott games. And I think it may well happen tomorrow night. One of those games where he throws about 3 picks.
I agree with you.
I see it coming.
Baltimore at Jacksonville. I'm taking Baltimore on this one. I think they're the best. I think they're the best AFC team.
And there's something about Jacksonville that's not right now.
Yeah, they're not in the sync. So
no. Right.
They're not. Their chemistry's not good.
It's not good. I like the Ravens big in that one.
Monday night, Philadelphia at Seattle.
Philadelphia needs to get right.
Yeah, something they're a little off.
They're off. They're off like Jacksonville's off.
They're offensively,
they're
and especially my biggest disappointment with them is defensively. On paper, they ought to have a top 5 unit. They've not played well.
Their secondary hadn't played well since they got the boy from the Titans.
Right. They weren't playing well then either.
That's not a reason, but
no,
their secondary
change the chemistry
is not good.
And speaking of chemistry,
Not
word has
good.
it that Seattle is in a shambles in the locker room right now. They've got players criticizing the players and saying that Pete Carroll's lost the team and all this. I think Philadelphia rolls.
It's a get right game for Philly.
That's all you got to talk about right there.
It's all messed up, and Philly's they're gonna roll. I think,
especially if they're against the coach.
Oh yeah,
if they're for the coach, it's another.
They've lost him. Yeah. He's lost the locker room, and that's coming from players
and that's where you got to go back to the Titans. Give Vrabel a lot of credit because you talk about playing hard Monday night.
Hey,
those guys were hitting.
Did you hear what Derrick Henry said? Vrabel may break out the cowboy hat tomorrow.
Yes, I did hear that.
What?
He's they're talking about he's going to have a cowboy hat
in
honor of Bud Adams.
All right, then. Bum Phillips.
That's what I heard.
I'm gonna tell you that was one thing. I think my wife was even with me at that one game where Bud Adams took the bird out there.
Oh yeah, I was there.
I was there, and everybody's going, "Look at the owner! Look at the owner!" Just flipping two of them.
You know who he was flipping them to? Don't
who was it?
Terrell Owens.
Oh, that's
for
right.
Buffalo. It was a Buffalo game.
I was there sitting there.
Yeah, and everybody said, "What?" I was right in front of him. I was looking up.
Going, look up
my
here.
Goodness, that was something else. But he was giving it to Terrell Owens, and we beat him. We beat them that day. All right, guys. What else we got going on? We want to remind everybody about the Bedford Brawl Monday night.
Bedford Brawl is the big thing tomorrow.
And what time does that start?
I think it's 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. I believe it is too. I believe
you're
correct. 6 o'clock. We're going to have Shelbyville Central, Cascade High School, and Community High School having one big wrestling match at Shelbyville Central where they will be competing against one another.
6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 o'clock Monday night. Be sure to go out and support those guys. Cheer for them all. Should be something really special.
Shelbyville's got like Siegel Monday night, I believe it is.
Right.
And I believe that's at Siegel.
Because they're going to be on the floor at the
Center.
Yeah.
And then Shovel Boy will have the Shane Young show on Wednesday because they play on Monday. And then the Shovel Boys, I know, go up to Lebanon to play Lebanon to start that tournament off.
Right.
And their next game will be against Coach Workman. That'll be
that'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And again, we want to thank our sponsors, First Bank here in Shelbyville, Kincaid
Service Company,
where service is their middle name, also on Madison Street, and then Corner Cleaners out on North Main Street. Go by, check out Susie. She'll take care of all your cleaning needs, and she'll rent you a tux in the blink of a eye.
Sound like you can get a candle there, too.
Yeah. Buy a scented candle for your wife, guys.
Right.
All right. Thanks again for sitting down. We're going to get our football picks ready and talk about these next week. So,
and if anybody's got any news out there they would like for us to send that in to David and let us know what you guys are interested in.
Yeah, just send it to admin@shelbyvillenow.com. I was getting a lot of stuff early in football, but then it just stopped flowing in. And I know scores are even hard to get on Coach T and stuff. Mm-hmm. We can't even find scores a lot of times.
Let us know what your interests are, and
we want to talk about that.
Yes.
But guys, thanks for watching. We'll be back this same time next week, and we'll be going over our picks and talk about some more Bedford County sports. Thanks for watching. See you next week.